Cambridge market community. Katie and John Preston. John, City historic environment consultant, and Katie Preston for Cambridge market community. And what we're trying to talk about is the small medieval city centre that we have, which currently holds our market square and has done for eons. And who is the heart of Cambridge really for? And that's what we're trying to look at here, and trying to say that actually this is connected with everything essentially that everybody else has said, but that it's about the market at the heart of our community. And Cambridge's relationship with its landscape is very, very special. We've got cattle that graze in the foreground of King's College, and we've got cattle that graze in commons across the city. And if these past months have demonstrated anything to all of us, it's demonstrated how much we need these green spaces to breathe the air, to experience them, and what that does for our health and well-being. And the Cambridge market is also one of the key indicators of our collective physical well-being and mental health. And that's because much of for all sorts of reasons, but one of them being we get seasonal produce on Cambridge market, asparagus, raspberries, sweet corn at the moment. And these things, by the time they get to the supermarkets, they're tired and tasteless. On Cambridge market, they're fresh, they're local, and we've got local independent producers who are bringing them to us. And especially at the moment when their supermarket shelves are empty, we know that we can rely on these market traders to bring us this fresh produce. It's what happened all the way through the pandemic, and it's also happening now. These are people who care about their customers, not like the supermarkets who only care about the bottom line. There's no shrink wrapping on the market, and food miles are low, and food is laid out for people to see, and it's fresh. And there's also the bonuses for everybody of exercise if they come into the market by bike. And on the market, people chat and the relationships are built up. Our market, we're very, very lucky, and it's very rare, this market of ours, because it's a 7-day-a-week market, and an awful lot of markets are only 1 or 2 or even maybe 3 days a week, but quite often just 1 day a week. With our over 150 businesses who come into Cambridge market, and they're all local, and they provide a vibrant mix, as you can see here on this slide, of local enterprise, local produce, flowers and services. And most of these traders work incredibly long hours. This is their livelihood and their life. And even in spite of those very, very long hours, the market provides a fantastic opportunity for new young startups. But what we've also got which is incredibly especially in relation to everything else that everybody's been saying, because we've got these small market gardens and small farm producers who provide an amazing tapestry around all the hinterland of Cambridge. And it may be just pockets, but those pockets are incredibly valuable, both to us and to our environs, and essentially to whether we actually use the market or not, because those little pockets are biodiverse pockets in amongst large agribusiness. And if those pockets were gone, it would mean that agribusiness would come in, that it would lay open all the possibilities for the Oxford Cambridge arc, which these pockets, you know, are our I can't. Yes. Okay. Never mind. Anyway, Kim Wilkie said previously to FeCRA that the grazing cattle play a vital role in managing the Cambridge water meadows. And this is one of the other reasons why the Cambridge market is just vital to us all.
Focusing in on the city centre, it's already crowded. There's already at capacity. The market squares, there's many different demands on it. It's a market, it's a civic space, a political space, tourist space, event space. And the market is historic, it predates the university. Its significance is recognised in the historic core appraisal, but neither the stalls nor the actual activities are protected. The brightly coloured stall canopies are iconic, and here they were featured by the High Streets Task Force, but nothing for the market there. In fact, the City Council doesn't value the market. It's been declining due to neglect. While it brings in up to 300,000 a year, the City Council has treated it as a cash cow. And what the council now proposes is a flexible space to satisfy its civic ambitions. In other words, a tourist plaza focusing on hot food with evening events and activities, reducing the market's trading day. The proposals actually seem almost planned to drive existing traders away, and they're totally unrealistic in terms of their assessment of what the feasibility will be, and they haven't yet been able to find any demountable stores that will work for the current traders. They've actually spent over £500,000 without yet finding a suitable stall. So what happens? What if we lose this market as we know it? We lose a tradition that goes back to medieval times, a market that's focused on, we get a market focused on tourists, not local people. Independent traders will lose their livelihood. We'll lose contact with real food. Our private central public space would have to be privatised to enable charging for events. It'd be a precedent for further privatisation and commercialisation of public green spaces. And we'd be losing green biodiverse growing spaces to agribusiness and developers.
And as David Rogers was saying, we all need to get involved in campaigning against the Oxford-Cambridge arc. But I think, well, I feel absolutely convinced that we also all need to get involved in campaigning to save our market. And it's time for the community's voice to be heard. And the market may be small, but it's also pivotal to an awful lot. And if we can actually succeed in saving the market, between us, we can help to turn the tide. Cambridge Market Community brings traders, shoppers and residents together. So please join us. And apologies, we haven't yet got a Cambridge Market Community email, but we will have. And when we do, Wendy will post it. So please do get in touch.
Right.